This piece I'm going to share with you is a piece from the chapter we call Britain in America, and it's my little reflection on what on Twitter is often called the diaspora wars, right? And so, without being romantic, this is my take. The whole chapter is about the influence of Black American culture on the development of Black British culture, and the relationship between those two cultures via Caribbean immigrants to America too. And this is my little take on where I think we're at and the possibilities before us within this sort of diaspora war conversation. Where does all of this leave us? What are the prospects for any kind of revived Black-led justice movements? What new cultures might emerge from the new interactions between Britain's inner cities and those of America? In what ways might the Black Atlantic evolve in the coming years? Any practical Pan-Africanism, to my mind, must also recognise difference and diversity. It's no good saying anti-Black racism exists, so Black people must become a simple monolith. While Black America's particular racial history has produced a political tradition that cannot in any honest way avoid centering the black-white dichotomy, it's understandably hard to convince our Igbo homies that fled Biafra, or those that fled the civil war in Sierra Leone, that mighty whitey is the sole, or in many cases, the primary issue. It's notable that while Black American political scholarship has been grounded in critiquing race and white supremacy, continental African scholars and activists, who obviously understand the legacies of colonialism and white supremacy just as well as anyone, have chosen, as is proper, to also focus their critiques on the failures, greed, corruption and murder of Africa's own ruling elites. Can we, the Caribbean and Black American descendants of racist chattel slavery, who have been made black, tell the Yoruba people, of whom there are almost 50 million, that they must simply forego their specific ethnic history of over 2,000 years in favour of a simplified black solidarity, simply because racism exists? Should Jamaican Rastas ignore the history of religious persecution, police brutality and class snobbery that they have suffered in Jamaica, simply because we're all black? Or will the approaches and dialogues have to be more subtle and nuanced? As Black Britain becomes majority West African, how important is it not to forget the battles that the first generation of post-war Caribbean migrants and their children fought so that later black migrants would not have to? Can Black America incorporate the very different political traditions and experiences of the Caribbean and West Africa? And how does the entire conversation relate to the human situation as a whole and the inequalities, conflicts and challenges facing everyone? Only time will tell.